Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of have like a more of a deeper topic kind of video, I guess I want to say. I've been getting a lot of questions about my diabetes, what happened to me, like my story, like what I did, what I didn't do, basically like just general questions that I personally want to answer to help anybody who has questions just for curiosity, or someone who might think they have it, or you know, just to basically inform people and inform you guys and just kind of tell my story. So let me start off by saying my whole life I've been super tiny. My grandma was tiny. Sorry. My mom's pretty tiny. Like all the women in my family have been on the smaller side. Like we're not really super tiny. I am 5'4". I'm like 115 to 120 pounds. I fluctuate a lot. But yeah, that's pretty small, I would say. I mean, it's like kind of average, but it's more on the smaller side of average. So I've always been kind of smaller. So when I was in 7th grade, I was about 12 years old. I was in gymnastics for about, I don't even know how long, on and off for, I don't even know, years. And I was a hard athlete. I trained 12 hours a week. Sometimes I would train 15 hours a week if I decided to go to open gym, which was like free, like you can do what you want. But yeah, I was in a lot of training all the time. I was always working out. I always ate right. And that's just how I always was. And when I was in about 7th grade, I mean, I was like skin and bone. Like if I can find some pictures, I'll put some in here. But I mean, like absolutely zero body fat. It was pretty bad, but I also didn't have any muscle, which was very strange for being such a hardcore gymnast. So that's what kind of was like also like a key like factor, and I'll tell you guys like what happened. But super tiny, really pale, like white, like dark purple circles under my eyes. I was like, people said I looked like a skeleton with just skin over my face. Like that's how sunken in my face was. No color. Well, all of a sudden, I was really thirsty. And I mean all the time. Like I had to have water, and I had to have it right then and there. And it wasn't like oh my god, I'm so thirsty, like I want water. It was like, if you've never felt this feeling, if you have diabetes, then you would know. But it's literally like I can't live without it. And not that I just needed it for like my satisfaction, but it literally, sorry, my dogs are barking. My body like needed it. Not that I was just thirsty and I needed a drink of water, but it was like my body needed it and I could not help it. Like I would be in class in 7th grade, like I need to go get a drink of water, and they're like, no, like you can wait, like you just got one 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, no, like I need a drink of water, and they're like, no, go sit down. And I used to just leave the classroom because I needed water that bad. I had to go get water. It was like the weirdest thing, and because of that, I'll tell you why, like the medical reason why you're craving water and all this stuff. And because I was drinking so much water, they basically told me I was drinking, you know, like the 2-liter bottles of soda. I was probably drinking about 10 of those a day, like 8 to 10 bottles of those a day. And I was peeing it all out. I had to go to the bathroom probably 1 to 2 times every hour. And I mean like bad. And like, yeah, I couldn't stop, and I didn't know what it was, and I just didn't know, and I was really sick all the time, and I would get tired just walking up the stairs, and it was just crazy. So all that was happening. And another thing is my body, again, like it would crave water, not just me, but my body would crave sugar. And so like I would just crave sugar. Like one time my mom bought these little pastry things. I ate the whole box and I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't help it. I used to walk home from school. I would stop at the store on the way home and get all this crazy candy and eat it all on the way home. And I mean, it was just the weirdest feeling that like you can't stop yourself, and it's like you need it. Like, you know, like there's addicts that are like, I need this, but no, it's like weird. So my mom knew something was up. She's like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're getting so tired, you're so thin, you look sick all the time, like you don't look good. She straight up asked me like, are you anorexic? Like, but I wasn't. I was eating all the time, and I was like, no mom, like I don't know what this is. Maybe it's just puberty. Like I thought it was puberty. I was like, maybe this is normal. So my mom actually used to be a vet tech, and she's seen this in dogs. I know it's weird, but that's how she got like a hunch. She was like, she didn't tell me. She did not tell me that she thought I had diabetes, but she's like, you know what, let's just go to the doctor, get you checked out. So I went to the doctor. They took blood. I peed in a cup, and they pulled me into like a little room, and they were like, okay, listen, your blood sugar, normal blood sugar is between 100 and 150 for someone who was my age. And they're like, your blood sugar is about above like 600 or 700. I don't remember the exact number, but it was 6 or 7. And blank, that's the last thing I remember. Then I remember waking up in the hospital the next morning. That's all I remember. My mom said we actually went to the endocrinologist, which is the doctor. And first thing he says to me is, this is nothing you did. You did not eat the wrong thing, which is true. I did not drink the wrong thing. It's not that I wasn't taking care of myself. It was nothing I did at all. It just happens. It's genetics. My great-grandma, I guess, had it, but I have type 1. She had type 2. Type 1, you produce no insulin. Type 2 can be controlled by diet, and you usually get type 2 when you're overweight. So, but I had type 1. And that's the first thing my doctor said. It's nothing you did. You did nothing wrong. It just happens. So then I was admitted to the hospital. They took me right in. I was in the ICU. You do remember them trying to put the IV in me, in my arm, like right here, if you can see, or it was in my wrist. It was one of these. But it literally took them, it was 3 nurses, and it took them at least, I want to say like 30 to 45 minutes just to stick it in my vein because I was that dehydrated. Yes, I was drinking all that water, and I will tell you why. Basically, I'm drinking all that water. My body's craving the sugar because my blood sugar is high. When your blood sugar is high, it means you do not have enough insulin in your system to control the sugars in the food you're eating, and it makes you crave more sugars. And the reason I was drinking so much water is because my kidneys were trying to flush out all that sugar by the water. So that's why I would eat so much sugar and be really thirsty all the time because I was trying to flush it out. And even when I wasn't eating, my insulin wasn't controlling just my blood sugars because I had no insulin in my pancreas. So I just drinking water. So my kidneys are what was making me thirsty to try to flush it all out. So basically, I was starving myself and making myself dehydrated for we don't even know how long, and like I didn't even know. My body was just so malnourished and malnutrition that happened. So I remember them trying to stick me in the arm. They stuck me here and here and here and here, and I remember screaming my head off just because I was depressed and frustrated and sad, and it was hurting, and I didn't know what was going on, and I remember screaming my head off. And my mom said I sat there and didn't say a word. And that kind of freaked me out. I was like, what? That's not what I remember. So that happened. And then, so I was in the ICU for about 3 days. And then they put me in just like a regular room for like another week. So I was in the hospital for like a week and a half. And it was just like one of the craziest experiences, I think. I had to learn to give myself shots. I do have an insulin pump now, but my doctor wanted me to learn how to give myself shots and like regulate the insulin and how much to give for this much amount of carbs, and like I'm not going to get into all that because that's a lot of detail and it's kind of hard to understand. So I had to take like classes, and like it was just crazy experience, and it's kind of hard for me to talk about, but not really. It is an emotional part of my life, but now that I've been through it, it made me stronger. And people always ask me like, isn't it hard? Isn't it tough? Like being, diabetic, and don't people feel sorry for you? And I'm just like, you know what? It's an inconvenience. It's not something that's going to ruin your life. It's an inconvenience. And that's what I tell everyone. I'm like, I live day to day just like everybody else. I can eat what I want when I want. I can do everything everybody else does. I just have to give myself a little insulin when I want to eat some food. That's it. And I just have to be a little bit more careful and check my blood sugar, and other people don't. There's so much worse things out there. Like, I hate it. I know it sounds bad, but I hate it when people feel sorry for themselves when they have diabetes. Of course, I did it first because I was young. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was so different now, and people at school, we were all young, they would, like, make fun of me for it, and that kind of sucked, but I've always been a stronger person, so I was just like, you know what? Screw them. Like, so I got over it, but if any of you have any questions, people come up to me all the time, like, my daughter's doing this, she's drinking all this water, or my son is craving all this sugar, and I tell them, like, take them to the doctor. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything you want to ask me, please ask me down below. I don't care. I hate it when people stare at me giving myself insulin on my pump or plugging my pump in, or like they give me the weirdest looks, and I'm like, just ask me. I would rather you just be like, hey, like, what is that, if you don't mind me asking, instead of like, oh my god, that's so weird. Like, really? Like, I've straight up looked at someone like, why are you staring at me? Like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you could have just asked me. Like, I just get mad at that. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you're dumb. I'm gonna get into like, that wasn't like everything, but that's like the general gist of it. But now I'm gonna get into like highs and lows of blood sugar. So your blood sugar should be between like 90 for my age now, like 90 and like 150. 150 is a little high, but it's still good. So if my blood sugar is low, I get really, actually, let's start with high. My blood sugar is high, so it's like above 150, like 200s, 300s, 400s. That's when it's really bad. I usually don't have that, but I get very angry, very angry. I'm really thirsty, I get headaches, and I like crave water, like I said before. So what that means is I have too much sugar in my system and I need more insulin. So that can easily be fixed. I just give myself some insulin. If it does go too high, then you can like pass out and go into like a sugar coma, pretty much, diabetic coma, which they just control with your blood sugar. And yeah, so that happened. When I went to the doctor, my blood sugar was over 700. I was on the verge of passing out because my blood sugar was so high, so that's bad. But the more dangerous one is when your blood sugar goes low. Now, this is the bad one. If I go too low, so below 90, or sometimes even at 90, I'm kind of shaky. I get really shaky, I get very weak, and I kind of just like go into like a fog. It's weird. Like, I'm aware of what's going on, but I'm kind of just like, ooh, like, you know when you've had like a little bit too much like cough medicine or something, and you're just kind of like, whoa, that's what it's like. And so you don't want to go too low. That means I have too much insulin and not enough sugar. It's very weird. That's the dangerous one. I can bottom out, go into a coma, and I have like this EpiPen kind of thing I have to shove into my leg. It's never happened to me before, but and then they got to take me to the hospital and all this crazy stuff. I've never been that low. I'm very aware of my body, which I think has a lot to do with gymnastics. Sorry if I'm saying a lot. I'm just kind of like trying to get this out as it's like rambling through my brain. But so I'm very aware of my body, and I think it's because of gymnastics that I'm very aware of my body. So I know when I'm low. And it's weird, like sometimes like I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I have to go downstairs and get like a glass of juice or something to get some sugar in me, and I'm walking down the stairs and I can't feel my legs and I'm stumbling and I'm falling. So I'm actually like, my mom's like, don't do that anymore, now call me next time you're low in the middle of the night. So I'll like wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and it's like, ow, sorry, my ankle just cracked. And it's like, I hear myself in my head, like, wake up, Lexi, like, you need to wake up, call mom, get some sugar, like, your blood sugar's low, wake up, Lexi. And it's just like, I hear myself, but I'm not fully there sometimes. Like, my boyfriend and, like, people at work even know that, like, Lexi, you need to go get some sugar. Because I'll kind of just be standing there, like, staring and just kind of, like, it's weird. It's really weird. So, but, yeah, it's crazy. But everything is okay. I'm very healthy, and I just wanted to make this video to inform you guys, like, what this is. If you had any questions, like, anything like that, please leave them down below. I will answer them, and I like to inform people about this. I'd rather inform people than people stare at me like, ew, like, what is that insulin pump? Like, what is that? Why are you sticking something in you? Like, no, shut up. Like, just ask me. I would so much rather have people... I would so much rather have people ask me than just like, ew, like, you're weird. No, I know I'm weird. You don't have to tell me. So, yeah, if you guys have any video suggestions, any questions, please leave them down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. I hope this helped. And, yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. All right, bye, guys.